some fun tonight. Keep those seat belts ready to fasten them pretty soon. So, few announcements. Obviously, you all know this is where it all started with Kansas, right here. After a few shows here, a few shows there, everywhere, I took them to the Civic Arena, sold out 2 nights, 32,000 people. Broke Elvis Presley's record. Wasn't easy. Then they tore the building down, but it still holds the record. So I got a lot of celebrities here tonight and a few things to get through. The first celebrity is Eric Gold. He's the son of Wally Gold, who signed Kansas to Kirshner Records in 1973. Let's hear it for him.
Thank you, Rich. Hi guys, hello Pittsburgh. Hello Kansas fans. Come on, let's hear it for the Kansas fans. My name is Eric Gold. You might not know me, but hopefully you know who my father was, Wally Gold. He discovered Kansas, signed them to the Kirshner record label, and produced their first 2 albums. As Dad and I were in 1973, when all this went down, the band asked me to come today and tell you the story about how it happened. Sorry for those of you that have heard this story 20 times, but I'll do my best. Back in '73, Dad was the VP and General Manager and A&R man, artist and repertoire man for Don Kirshner Records. In those days, people in that line of work either discovered new talent by word of mouth, or became, or because someone sent them a tape imploring them to listen to this great new band. So, there were hundreds of tapes all the time coming in and out of the office, but none of any particular interest to my father. Until one day somebody dropped off a tape at the office and it ended up on Dad's desk. Amongst many other mediocre performances, he popped the tape on and he loved what he heard from first listen. So much so that he brought that tape home that night, and for at least the next week, we sat in our music room at home after dinner every night and listened to that tape beginning to end, both sides. At substantially high volume, might I add. One day, not much later, the tape playing stopped. And when I asked him why, he said because he had been in with Donnie Kirshner and convinced him that my father should go to the state of Kansas and see if the band could do live what they did on that demo tape. There was much discussion about what it was that, there was much discussion at the time about what it was that Dad loved so much about Kansas, but my father was a classical music lover, so he took right away to the violin and to Robbie's contributions to the band, which to this day, thank you, Robbie's family. He also fell in love with the intricate songwriting and the power and the energy of the band's performance, both on tape and live. A phone call ensued, which most of you have heard stories about those phone calls, and Dad flew out to Ellenwood, Kansas to see the band, which I remember as being called White Clover at the time, perform at the Opera House. Unbeknownst to my father, the band had advertised the show as free beer. So there were long lines and enthusiastic and rowdy crowds. There were stories about Dad getting hit in the head by a beer bottle that night, which I can't verify because he came home, there were no apparent injuries. And of course, that the enormous crowd fooled Dad and Kirshner into signing the band. Well, I guess you'll see the proof of that tonight as Kansas is wrapping up their 50th anniversary tour. While Dad had many highlights to his career, working with Kansas and getting to know the original 6 was right up there at the top of the list. He would be thrilled to know that so many people agreed with him, that's you guys, and that Kansas was and is an amazing band with great songwriting and skill, as they are still today. As he wrote in the liner notes for the first album, Kansas is a band. Thanks for hearing my story, our story. Welcome to Kansas. Have a great show.
Thank you, Ed. Great job. Thank you. The next friend celebrity is Dutch Daner. Dutch is a great friend of Kansas and an associate of theirs as well. Let's hear it for him.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Pittsburgh's beautiful Benedum Center. How about it? My name is Dutch Daner. It's a great privilege and honor to be a part of this historic evening in the great city of Pittsburgh as we celebrate 50 years of the band Kansas. How about it?
Yeah!
I grew up just up the road in snowy Erie. You've heard about that place lately. Where I first witnessed this band's greatness in concert in 1975. Thanks to the legend right here standing beside me, Mr. Rich Engler, who brought them up to Erie and Edinburgh and Slippery Rock and everywhere else. And that night changed my life forever. And jumping ahead, obviously, we're on a time frame. You want to rock and roll tonight. 5 decades later, it's a true blessing for me to call the members of this band and their incredibly hard-working crew my friends. Kansas is a band, that's for sure. But Kansas is also a family, folks. So how about a hand for the band and the hardest-working crew in all of rock and roll? My friend at BMI, Dan Spears, is Vice President of Industry Relations and Licensing at BMI. He couldn't be here tonight, and he asked me to do the honors on his behalf. You may ask, what is BMI? BMI was founded in 1939 by forward thinkers who wanted to represent songwriters and protect the public performances of their music. Today, BMI is the largest music performing rights organization in the U.S. and a bridge between the songwriters and businesses that want to play their music publicly. As a global leader in music rights management, BMI serves as an advocate for the value of music, representing over 22 million musical works created and owned by more than 1.4 million songwriters, composers, and music publishers. And one of those 1.4 million songwriters happens to be a good friend of mine, the maestro himself, Mr. Kerry Lippert. On Kerry's behalf, his daughter Kate and Kyle are with us tonight to accept 2 special citations of achievement certificates of recognition from BMI. First, for the mega hit breakthrough, Carry On Wayward Son. In my humble opinion, the anthem of all rock anthems. How about that? And of course, the timeless classic, Dust in the Wind. A song I'm sure will be still in rotation hundreds of years from now. So, we've got Kyle here on the left and Katie on my right. I'm going to pull these out for BMI. Kyle Lippert, everybody. On behalf of BMI, I'm pleased to present to the Livgren family 7 million airplays of Dust in the Wind. And Carry On Wayward Son is now over 9 million radio broadcasts and counting. And in closing, I just spoke with Carrie a few minutes ago, and he wants you to all know he's with all of you in heart tonight. He and Vicky, they're really sorry they couldn't be here, but they're right here with us in heart. So God bless you all. Good night.
Doug, thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Love your dad. Okay, we're basically finished. I have one more thing. Ed Traversari, come on out here. Phil Ehart. There's Ed. There he is, founding member, leader, guru. special plaque commemorating 50 great years. We love you.